Dave, Mike here, and I'm Vince. After the last week's events, we decided to save our normal jokes and asides for later on in the show. I did not know much about Charlie Kirk before, but I know who he is now. I've been filled with a sense of anger and uncertainty that is both electrifying and terrifying. I don't know what will come of this, but it is clear that Charlie was killed to send a message. The message: if you believe if you believe what he believed, you need to sit down and shut up, or you're next. The same people who hate Charlie for daring to speak in public, calling his words violence, while justifying actual physical violence, will one day come for the hunting public for daring to participate in the natural order of men in nature. The reaction we have seen from those on the left is clear. They want you dead or silenced, and it doesn't matter how nice or well behaved or well reasoned you are. They hate you. I don't like argument. I don't like argument with people who I know hate me. So I found what Charlie did somewhat unsettling. Over this last year, I have been introduced to a bit of work by C.S. Lewis called the Screwtape Letters, which are a series of letters of a mature demon giving his advice to a younger demon on how to corrupt a man's soul. And letter number 1 is about argument. Last Wednesday, the day that Charlie was killed, we had our first book/Bible study on the Screwtape Letters that I co-led with our pastor. And it was about argument, and about how argument is something that the enemy wants you to stay away from, because he can't fill your mind with propaganda if you have steadied your mind through years of study and thought about what you really think, engaging in logic, reason, and understanding of your own mind. But I understand now. We cannot be idle. Make your voice heard. It's clear that no one person can replace Charlie Kirk. But many can stand in his place. It matters very little how big or small that something that you can do is, provided that we are not frozen, provided we don't let the nothing creep in. The only thing required for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. There's a few quotes from C.S. Lewis that I'd like to hear put. When a man is getting better, he understands more and more clearly the evil that is still left in him. When a man is getting worse, he understands his own badness less and less. When people stop believing in God, the problem is not that they will believe in nothing, rather that they will believe in anything. And last, a quote often misattributed to C.S. Lewis, belonging to another writer by the name of Charles T. Studd. My prayer is that when I die, all of hell rejoices that I am out of the fight.
Well said.
Indeed.
It's been weird for me, I think. Like, I've had this uneasy feeling ever since I saw the video. And I've been following Charlie for a couple years now. And it was always just amazing to watch him debate with people and do it so eloquently and fast. Like, he right back at him. And so, buddy of ours posted a video. I opened it up. I was like, oh, it's Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. And then it happened. And I'm like, holy shit. It hit me in a way that I've never felt. I was off since it happened. I mean, it's getting better, but there's just this pit, I guess. And I mean, I've never met the guy, never talked to him, anything like that. Just saw some videos, and he was like this younger generation's Ben Shapiro for like just debate. And I don't know, it's weird. It's sad. But damn sad.
Well, it takes a special kind of focus to maintain composure and rational thought in that kind of environment.
Mhm.
Do you mean the kind of environment that you have a screaming tofu eater
Multiple
yelling
times,
in
yep.
multiples, sometimes yelling in your face, and the nerve it takes to just be calm and like, all right, why do you hate me? Honestly, after all right, 22-year-old me, I can't imagine. He was 31 years old. He was doing this for 12 years, which means he started when he was 19. When I was 19, if somebody told me fuck you, I would tell them fuck you right back, and we'd probably end up in a fight I'd lose.
Blood boiling immediately.
Right.
Mhm.
So to
Have the composure.
yes, to have the composure, thank you, Dave, to sit there and take such hateful speech directed at you. And let's be clear, this is hateful speech coming from the tolerant left because they sit on a moral pedestal they created and we're below them. And this happened because of that, because we are no longer human to them. Those of us that do not conform to the left are no longer human to the left. That is what this was about. Make no mistake. The only thing we can do, and I know I went from one topic to another quite well, actually, but my message is I like to argue on the internet quite a bit. Like, I'm pretty good at it. But I always use they, conservatives. I never include myself. So I don't say we. I don't say we will have revenge, or like we're not going to have revenge. I don't say things like that. I say conservatives will, they will, and I say liberals will, and they will. I don't identify myself. Well, I'm going to identify myself now. We will not be silenced. They killed a man for his voice. We will not be silenced. We will all continue having our voices. We've got the internet. We've got our silly little internet show that 3 or 4 people pay attention to, but we have our voice and we can continue to use it. And if one of us gets taken out for our voice, if it's one of you guys, I'll happily go hunt the other one down, or go hunt whoever did it down.
The other one.
My bad.
You'll finish them
Y'all
off.
heard what I heard? Like,
Yeah.
Already
they
in
got
slip.
Sam, but Dave got away.
How did he miss the big one?
Like, motherfucker, I paid you for both of them.
I'm so glad you threw that in there, just because that helped ease some of the tension back a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was getting tense too.
Not
so,
that I mean, it is a not deserved amount of tension. That is for sure. That's why we didn't start with any intro music, because it was agreed that we didn't want to. If we were going to talk about this topic, we did not want to do so after making the usual glib jokes that we do at the beginning of every episode. Anyway.
Oh yeah, we're a bunch of fuck offs. But this is definitely the right way to do it.
Cheesy 90s radio intro, and then, by the way, guys, did you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that. I don't have too much to say on this topic that hasn't already been said by more eloquent people.
Same.
Other than, so one of the lessons I have learned from,
Fuck's sake.
speaking of hunting people down, I know where you live. one of the lessons I've always taken away from one of the lessons that is stuck in my head, rather, not so much a takeaway as it was like hammered in me by reading it a few times over. It goes back to the Roman Republic, and under that, I'll like this fairly quick because I've already told a couple of people. But if you were specifically, especially if we're talking like a tribune, it depends on the era of the Republic. But long story short, and to use some more modern terminology to get through it faster, if you wanted to propose legislation in the Roman Forum, you needed to show up in person to do so. You could not send a letter. You could not send somebody to speak for you. You had to show up yourself and stand in the exact right spot to do so. Otherwise, you will not be heard. Towards the late end of the Republic, it became the norm, and it means somebody did it first. And this ties also into their tribe system and also their system of clients and patrons. But if you were a powerful man who did not want your opponent to be heard or to propose a legislation you disagreed with, you'd send your buddies to prevent him from standing in that spot, starting with just crowding it or shouting him down so he couldn't be heard, which escalated to now that dude shows up with his own crowd of buddies, which escalates to fist fights in the streets, which escalates to killing in the streets. The precipitate moment that caused, I mean, the fall of the Republic came because many, many long reasons, but right at the end, Caesar's north, he's in Cisalpine Gaul. He's up in was it Ravenna? Yeah, he was up in Ravenna, arguing back and
Must
forth.
any of us that, well, Vince might know, but
Oh, sorry, I have to do this in my own head.
was it Ravenna?
Anyway, it was
Sure.
Ravenna. The point being, this is the point where the Roman Senate is trying to declare Caesar an outlaw. Pompey is still marginally friends with Caesar, but he's being swayed against Caesar. The Roman Senate pulls a very stupid stunt to have Caesar declared an outlaw, but Mark Antony, who's Caesar's right-hand man, is currently, was he People's Tribune? Either way, he has the power to veto that declaration. So their stupid stunt is we are going to propose this motion, get it passed, and he can veto it. Because then we send a message, but we don't legally cross the line. And because their system had deteriorated so much, the Senate broke out into a frickin' fist fight. And Mark Antony could not veto the motion. Since the session wasn't legally closed, they go, okay, no, it's no big deal. We can come back the next day and veto it. And it ends in a fist fight, and Mark Antony flees Rome, goes back to Caesar, and that's over. It's the end. This kind of crap escalates and escalates, and it gets out of control. It is possibly going to get out of control. I guess I don't know what to say other than that. That was a very long-winded way of saying that this kind of political violence and nonsense starts off small, and it ends with the entire collapse of your civilization.
What I heard from that was the part about wealthy and powerful donors organizing mobs and how that needs to be dealt
So
with.
you'd have so the patron client system was essentially, if you're a man with a lot of money, particularly late Republic, because the people with money had forced the common people off the land and into cities. Because
Isn't Soros a Roman name?
I mean, technically he's Hungarian, but close enough.
Oh.
I think he's
Continue.
Hungarian anyway. Whatever. The point is, by that time, in order to, it's just part of the system, if you were a rich man, you would patronize all these different people, and they became your clients, but in a way that they owed you a very rudimentary sort of fealty. So, for instance, I, as a tile layer, I might have a patron who's, he's a fairly rich dude, and I do projects almost exclusively for him. And I'm kind of at his beck and call. And it returns back down in the sense that he's supposed to give me money. But if he says, hey, I need you to show up here, I need to show up there. If I don't show up there, I'm breaking essentially a social contract.
You're describing the mafia.
Kind of. Except for there's a lot of little ones. again, the point just being and I've rambled on about this crap ad nauseum. The point being that this is the kind. I mean, I'm surprised we got this particular animal put back in the cage back in the 50s and 60s with JFK, RFK. As much as I've joked about it in the past, John Lennon, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. That spat through that was about a decade.
Yeah, that
worth?
was all the 60s.
All the 60s. Okay, that spat of assassinations. I'm surprised we got the lid put back on it then.
It was literally like 5 years, honestly. 11/22, 63 is when Kennedy was killed, and then I don't know when Malcolm X was shot, but Bobby Kennedy was 68, I think, and so was Martin Luther King.
God, I'm surprised. You
So
know that on top
5
of your
years.
head. I did not.
I didn't even hear it.
Lennon,
Like,
I think, was 69, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But the point
Wait, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Lennon was killed in the 80s.
okay, yeah, he is a little bit separate. Well, I think celebrity can be a little bit different than more politically
But
motivated.
Lenin was killed for the exact same reasons, though, because Lenin
Mhm.
preached about the liberal, live a peaceful, low possession life, or what do you call that shit? Minimalist life, and don't spend any money, and live happy and free. And here he is living in a penthouse in New York City. The guy that killed him was reading Catcher in the Rye right before he was killed, and he was arrested reading the book. Like he made the officers wait for him to finish the chapter before he put it down. It was kind of weird. Anyway,
Mike was there.
he actually got, I don't know why I know all this. I read it somewhere and it just stuck. But yeah, he got an autograph from Lenin earlier that morning, and you can see the book, and like there's a photograph of him. It's weird, dude.
Yeah.
But when interviewed, he basically I don't remember, Holden McNeil, or whatever the hell the main character in Catcher in the Rye's name is. The guy who killed Lennon, he basically was accusing Lennon of being a phony, and I don't honestly blame him. I mean, how can you go on national TV and talk about how pure a soul you are, and how close to nature and all this crap you are, and you live such a minimalist life and live in a luxury apartment in Manhattan? Like, Lenin was a commie.
Well, I mean that doesn't. I think that's a little outside the point at this point.
Well, I think it's on point because he was killed for being a commie and flashing it. It's like the guy in the dark alley who flashes the big wad of bills. You know what I mean? A lot of the do as I say, don't not as I do kind of thing. And that's why I'm not condoning that the dude killed Lenin, but I understand the political reasoning behind it, like in the dude's mind. This guy's a complete phony piece of shit, so he just needs to die. Okay, well, that's not how we handle things in normal society, but
no, it's not, and that should never be handled that way.
Right. That's
but what? Hang on, I need to.
No, take me off of this train.
Yeah, because I'm not sure where this train's going.
Me neither. Do any of us ever know where my trains
Dark
are
tunnel.
going? Least of all me.
Deep tunnel.
Dark, deep tunnel.
Is this tunnel moist?
That's a mine shaft. Oh no!
Ah, bad tunnel. Bad tunnel.
Made me lose my train of thought again, dude.
Speaking of trains,
choo choo.
what are you doing, step locomotive? God damn it, I fucked it up. Anyway,
things are getting steamy in here. Get it? Because they're steam engines.
I'm done.
Yeah, you should be done. The point being that that was my point. This is probably the most culturally significant assassination in this country since, I believe it was Martin Luther King Jr. was the last one. In terms of national reach and the amount of impact it has had on people. Because yes, Reagan would have been a really big one. Trump would have been a really, really big one, but both of those didn't, they didn't
And
connect.
you know, wouldn't we be saying the same thing if Trump had actually taken that bullet? Wouldn't we be
We would
saying
be.
these same things about
Yeah.
political violence? Like now, would we still be saying the same things if it was somebody on the left that took a bullet? Would we care as much?
Well,
Yes,
it's about the
because of the escalation.
yeah. Well, and that's
Because
like
it's a blatant, it is a blatant, violent violation of the First Amendment, and not just the First Amendment in the terms of like, oh look, we have this thing on a piece of paper, because at the end of the day, that piece of paper is just a piece of paper. One of
Mhm.
these days, it's going to crumble to dust. But as a,
I mean,
it
it
is a
already is
blatant-
crumbling to dust,
It
honestly.
is a blatant violation of just the sheer principle that you should be able to speak your mind and not be killed for it.
Right.
Not be killed because somebody on the other side can't argue against you, and so therefore has to demonize you.
The simple
Mhm.
fact
Not be
that
killed for
somebody died because of his voice is a very terrifying thought in this country right now.
not be killed for it, but possibly lose your job over it. Because there are still consequences for that.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely.
has
Mhm.
probably been okay. So I know
That's
a lot
that's
of
kind
people,
of a. Sorry, go ahead, dude.
I know, yeah. Don't. Let's not derail too much right here down side tangents, because I think we have kind of a line we're trying to get to, just to kind of get this wrapped up instead of let's
Mhm.
squirrel off too far on every little tangent.
Let's go hunt for the point.
Yes. Point. Do you have one? So I know a lot of people have been very I mean, disgust is one word for it, but I don't think it quite matches. So a lot of the reaction from people who are on the left, who are very, I'm not even gonna say liberal ideology. There is a difference between liberal and leftist. A lot of people have been almost demoralized by that. It's almost like they didn't, which is fair enough. I don't think some people realized how loud of a segment of the population exists out there who will happily celebrate the death of someone who they see as a literal Nazi and political opponent.
Mhm.
As speaking for myself, that's something that is more just like a sad, like, yep, I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, I wish I was surprised. But it has been very interesting to see the same people who were harping over and over on basically that they invented the whole cancel culture thing, having to do a 180 now because they said something that they celebrated a man's death, and now their employers are going, oh, maybe we don't want to have you as an employee anymore.
Yeah. And that's just stupid.
That's what I was going to say was that's the small light in this currently dark tunnel of
It's all
I have-
dark because at the same time, this is, again, unless this is a flash in the pan type of thing, which hopefully it is, the more people get pushed, the more stupid stuff they're going to think about doing.
I will say I've seen both sides of like reactions to it, and there have been a lot of people that are coming out better in their own life because of it. They're like, didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I looked him up, and now I bought a suit and I want to do better for my family. Or I haven't been to church in 20 years. I went to church. I'm Christian. I do not go to church. I praise God in my own way. It's my deal. So you do you, but it's amazing to see the reactions of people like in a positive light from what's happened. I mean, bad people are spewing shit, and I have cleared out a friends list. So
Yeah, funny
it-
how that'll happen.
you see people's true colors. So I don't know. There's I do see that. I like that people are finding some good out of this whole situation, like wanting to better themselves and better themselves for their families. So it's shitty how it had to come about, but
I think it's interesting how they call the right violent. They say the right is always more politically violent than the left. They say the right riots more than the left, and all they say, all they can come up with is January 6th. By the way,
Yeah, that's the only one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like Summer of Love 2020, and literally every BLM riot before that. Like, come on, man. Anyway,
that's just a Tuesday to them.
it's mostly Peaceful Tuesday.
Yeah.
Ooh, show title. They say all these things, but this incident has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that that is pure projection from their end. Arguing in the comment sections of Facebook lost its fun because everybody's just too stupid and the rhetoric is the same regurgitated rhetoric over and over again. So I moved on to a different platform. Yahoo is even worse. It's even worse rhetoric. It's like Yahoo comments. It's a great haven for leftist commenters, especially when every MSNBC article is about Trump.
I
So
forgot Yahoo was a thing.
Are you stuck in 2004?
His computer is like pink, see-through on
you. Okay, so for some reason, my computer thinks Yahoo Secure is the search engine, even
Oh,
though I
you have a virus?
continually change it to.
No. I will text you about this later. I just had to do the same damn thing a couple weeks ago, and Dave, I believe, was here for a lot of it.
Yeah. You're like, why in the fuck is it Yahoo? I changed you back to Google.
You have a virus that's redirecting you.
Cool. All right. I guess we'll have to fire
Back to-
McAfee and try something else.
Back to computer doctor.
Great. Anyway, my computer and its herpes aside, the response from the right to this incident has proven that the left's narrative, regardless of how unhinged they want to be in comment sections all over the internet, the right is not more violent because the right had every opportunity to become more violent because of this incident and did not do so. Not one single violent. You know what happens when a leftist gets killed? People burn shit down. You know what happens when a rightist gets killed? People pray
Well, there was that one guy
and
who
become better people. Sorry,
tried
go
to
ahead.
scooter through a vigil.
Yeah.
Get out of him.
To be fair, he
Dumbass.
was just stupid.
Yeah, that stupid
There's
games.
There's more stupid growing in Boise. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, so I'm not moving there.
Oh, was that
Minister.
Idaho or was that Nebraska?
Yeah, it was Boise. It's downtown Boise.
Yep.
Like-
Dumb.
Yeah.
Could have
It
been
was-
Nebraska.
Was it Grand Thumb?
That probably.
the scooter
That's
through
where he
a-
lives. Grand Thumb went scootering and accidentally ran over a.
Why do you know
Vigil?
where Garantham lives?
Oh, because I mean, it's not like I stalked him. I think he
He's
said
been hunting
Idaho,
him.
but let's go hunt. The mountains that he's around are those mountains north of frickin' Boise, man. They are unmistakable. The ones he's always taking videos in, it's like that's north of Boise because it's those mountains with nothing on them, just grass. Anyway,
Dr. Scary Guy said something, and that made me think of something else, so I'm going to say it. Dr. Scary Guy's comments, when you yell fighting words, sometimes even the peaceful folks stop being peaceful. And I think that's what a lot of leftists that will never hear this podcast need to understand and remember. And they never will because, but it's important to remember that conservatives are peaceful. They are not harmless.
And there's a lot of peaceful Democrats too. I mean,
There
it
is.
goes both ways.
No, when I say leftists, I'm not talking all Democrats. Like they're
You're talking
When-
Bolsheviks.
yes, I'm talking Bolsheviks.
And we do
And
not say
I've started.
that flippantly. That
No,
is
we
not
don't.
a flippant
I've
statement.
genuinely come up with a theory that when the Bolsheviks revolted in 1917 in Russia, they started a simultaneous revolution in our country, but it started much, much more slowly, and they played the long
Oh,
game.
Oh, you want to go
And
down
that's
that
why
rabbit? Do you want
that's
to go
why
down those
we
rabbit
got
holes
rid of
with
the
me later?
Fed. That's why we have all of these temporary programs like the ATF and the IRS and all that stuff.
Dude, we don't
that
have
should
time
have-
for this.
We
I
do
know,
not have
yeah.
time for this,
No.
but no, go ahead and you're the problem is you're not wrong. Look
I
up
know.
how many other little attempted revolutions there were with communism. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to get down this rabbit hole.
I think I think the biggest thing is it's a divide between smart people and dumb people.
Mm,
Like, if you're smart, you're not going to do something stupid.
mhm.
Okay, that's
Except
where the
thi-
divide is. Okay.
By
That's
all
where I was wondering where
accounts,
you were
this
going with
guy that shot Charlie Kirk, I'm not going to say his name. His name was Robert Paulson.
His
By
name is
all accounts, the
Gateway.
dude. Yeah, what? Hey.
By all accounts,
Um,
the dude can be intelligent, but it's not about intelligence. It's about radicalization and what
Yep.
you have, especially the people you've surrounded yourself with.
That's what I was-
especially with people who are terminally online.
Yeah.
There is a problem with younger people. I mean, it tends to be younger people, not older people. So I'm not going to say younger people, especially where they are online, like they live their social lives on the internet, and the internet is like the worst of humanity. It's amazing that human beings can take what should be a useful tool and just turn it into a sludge pit.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and no,
how Mos Eisley is supposed to be, that's the hive of scum and villainy. No, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's the internet.
Oh, did we get kicked off of YouTube?
Yeah, Raggle Fraggle, what happened? We're not going to sit and wait for your reply. We're going to keep talking.
Ooh, we did get kicked
Ooh.
off YouTube. Based.
no shit.
Neat,
How? Because
Wow.
we're talking about this?
because we're
Bullshit.
talking.
We
about
haven't
this.
touched a single gun.
Oh, now I'm touching them all.
I've been touching mine for a while, but you can't see
I'm
that.
touching.
Wow.
Man, I gotta check my email. That is interesting. We are going to.
That
have
is
to,
interesting.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
I wonder which word. It was probably like a combination of like.
Was
two
it
words.
Bolshevik or was it more the Charlie Kirk? Or was it the.
I believe it's the topic we're talking about. We probably said the word assassinate too many times. We probably said
I
the
don't even know that
words-
we said it once.
Oh, I've said it
Oh,
multiple
political
times.
Yeah.
I refuse to
you're
call
right.
it. I refuse to call it a murder because
Oh, no, it's definitely
Yeah,
a
it
political
waters
assassination,
down-
just like Martin Luther
words have
King.
meaning, and that waters down the meaning of somebody's intention. Yeah, I don't have an email from YouTube saying what happened yet.
Now, Raggle Fraggle
No.
said he just sucks.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
You know,
I'm
we're
so
on.
excited.
I was actually kind of happy.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
not
You
excited.
got our hopes
because
up, dickhead.
only yeah, you got my hopes up only because it's just confirmation bias type stuff. It'd be like,
Yeah.
look, they're trying to stop us from talking about something, and it turns out this guy's browser's just dumb. Hey, Raggle Fraggle, you got a virus, man.
You should rumble about it.
Get off of YouTube and go to Rumble, Raggle Fraggle. The less people we have on YouTube, the better. Because
You get a message from us like, "Hey guys,
There we go.
You should probably have yourself checked out."
Now he's right.
You've got ghosts in your computer. You should go outside and get some sunlight about it.
Back to Sam's point about people living online. Fucking go touch some grass. I mean,
Yeah.
for God's sake.
I'm not going to lie. I
Go
used
smell
to be
rain.
a live online person, and now I'm much happier outside hunting. Like, I don't. I'm looking more
Why
at
are
my
you
phone
in
more
YouTube?
than.
Why are you in Yahoo comments all the time?
Look,
The
I got
last
time to pass in the picky up line and stuff like that. And honestly, the reason I do it in Yahoo is because it gives me some sort of idea of what the extreme other side is thinking
It's where all
about.
the MILFs are.
Vince, go.
No.
the last thing I was gonna say
Yeah,
about
that's-
like the guy's intelligence and that stupid people are normally the ones who take care of this stuff out. The guy who did this was by the reports I've heard, an intelligent individual. He was an A student, but you know what that bought him? 33 hours. That was it.
Before he got caught.
Well, I
And
don't
a
want to go
fucking
into. I don't want to
text
go
He
into.
couldn't. He couldn't
Nope, don't give him
cover
any
cameras
ideas.
or anything. Like
No, I'm not
you're
going
right.
to.
Not you're right.
No
Don't give
ideas.
him any
Shut up,
ideas.
Mike.
But
No, shut up, Mike.
no, you're right. I'm shutting up. Shut the fuck
Shut
up.
up. You said
God.
but.
Someone mute Sam.
The only thing I think it makes me wonder if, as a stupid 22-year-old, you didn't get yourself so hyped up to go do this, do it, and then have a freaking panic attack afterward, and end up telling somebody.
He did.
I don't want to make a bunch of speculation about this because all the info
Dude, he
has.
did. You haven't seen it in Discord?
No, I don't pay attention to Discord anymore, man.
Well, I pay attention
Only
to
when
the news
only when I
channel
need to
because
ban
I'm,
people.
Well, it wasn't on
Mr.
his
Guns and
Discord.
Gear posted a text thread between
it's
said shooter and said shooter's
Boyfriend.
thing.
Boyfriend.
That
fleshlight.
Moving on. Dave.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, whole conversation between
Well-
shooter and partner. Why'd you do it? Because I was tired of his and like paragraphs of this dude. Just
Oh,
confessing.
okay. I have
So you're
heard-
100% correct.
I heard messages had been released, but I didn't
Mhm.
read them.
He
but
had a
also-
panic attack and confessed to somebody.
Yeah, well, a 31-year-old father of 2 young children is dead because people in this country are so divided by the media and by ideologies that are. Vince, you're talking about C.S. Lewis. A contemporary of C.S. Lewis is G.K. Chesterton has a quote I like a lot, which, if I can remember it off the top of my head, goes along the lines that a fallacy does not stop becoming a fallacy just because it becomes a fashion.
That's
We
fair.
live in a world of fashions now, and because people want they have identified their entire existence and being around their ideology instead of being a person. They are now a adherent of whatever this ideology that they have is. That people have, a man is dead over it.
Yep.
And I don't mean to be a pessimist, but
You're not
this country's fucked.
You're not a pessimist. Rome fell. Everybody thought Rome was gonna roam eternal.
Oh, that's one of those sayings that people often you'll hear half of it, and that's Rome wasn't built in a day, but it
It sure
burned in
felt
one.
like, yeah. No, Raggle Fraggle, not for us. It was another show on FRN.
We will get a Discord here soon. I'm tired of
Yeah.
piggybacking off somebody else.
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
thinking about it. But anyway, moving on.
That has been so we've hit a 38-minute mark. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to all right, time to move on to other crap.
No,
But
we-
I do think there's a point where we need to bring this to a little bit put a bow on it.
Yep.
I'll leave that, Vince. I will
I
defer
thought
back
this
to
was
you.
our topic for the night. Damn.
I mean,
was gonna be
sure,
political extremist
sure.
tonight.
But at the same time, especially because this is still, I mean, it was last Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, less than a week.
Okay, it's been a week or less than a week. More information will come out about this. I don't know if we will end up talking about it because we have tried to be fairly apolitical on this show on
Mhm.
purpose because not just people who vote Republican vote or hunt, not just people who are Democrat hunt, lots of people hunt.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried to stay apolitical. I actually should have led with this. It's one of those things where you realize 15 minutes after the fact. But there are some things that you cannot afford to sit there on the fence post and go, oh, this is none of my business. And this is just because this is one of those things where I'll give credit to Vince more than anybody else, probably, because Vince is the one who brought it up. I was not sure how we were going to handle this at all. Vince is the one who said, hey, I want to make a statement. We should say something. I was like, yep, you're right. So I will defer back to Vince. If Vince, do you want to put a little bit of a bow on it and then we can move on to something else? Or
Sure, I'll take the last word here.
'Kay.
I saw a quote recently talking about the confluence of guns and violence in America, because while the gun community doesn't necessarily have anything to do with hunting, there's plenty of cross section between hunting and guns. And that is that the problem we are having in this conversation is that conservatives don't hear somebody's opinion that they find abhorrent and think, I want to kill that person. And the left apparently does.
Yep. When you get them, it doesn't help that the leftist media riles them up into a frenzy. The same, like
Mike,
I apologize. You can last word after
Mike.
this.
That
That
the
was
vote.
his last word.
That was the last word.
And
We,
I think we will close it off there because
Yes.
we will end up just going down another back and
Mhm.
forth.
I genuinely
talk
thought
about
this
this
was a
after the
topic
show.
tonight.
Well, I mean,
I-
it was. We have talked. We have discussed this for
Mhm.
for basically 41 minutes now. And again, I think there's a point where we are just going to start beating a dead horse, or what I'm trying to avoid, because I very much dislike this, is when you end up in what I call a whirlpool circle jerk, where everyone's spinning around one spot and it's just a disgusting mess because all we're doing is reflecting back off of each other, making the same points over and over and
Here-
over. We're not actually.
here's a bow. Here's a bow for this.
Go.
Montana Dirt Roads. Holy shit, guys! Sorry I'm late. What I miss?
Motherfucker.
Well, time to get into the show.
Also,
All right, time
um,
to get into the show.
I know we can't use it, but I did write down whirlpool circle jerk just because I find it amusing.
It's just a bunch of guys spinning around a toilet bowl, jerking at each other, man. And I don't want to be in it.
So now
We're
that
not
we've-
around. We're not around the toy. We're in. We're the shit.
Well, think about you've been to Waterworld, right, Mike?
Yeah, I've been on that ride. I've been like,
Yeah.
yep, this is where I belong. Whee!
The one that just takes you round and round and round and dumps you.
And then right at the end, you go floosh.
Yeah.
I think we call that the Keystone Express.
I'm going
You
to
just
get
go,
you vodka,
you
motherfucker.
sit on the
Man.
circle, and you go around with your cooler.
Okay.
Oh boy.
We've had a bit of a giggle, but we're gonna get serious again for just a minute.
Oh damn.
Oh,
There are 2 missing hunters in southwestern Colorado, elk hunters.
Okay.
It's Unit 81. They're like 20 miles. The last known location was they're 20 miles north of the New Mexico border, up a Los Pinos trailhead. If anybody listening has if you live around there or if you know people that live around there, search and rescue is requesting horses.
Oh damn it, Dave! You're gonna make me post this one like first thing tomorrow morning, aren't you?
So they
actually,
have.
I was
this-
gonna say, I was gonna
posting this
suggest
next
that anyway.
week. Posting this
Yeah.
next week ain't gonna do any good.
Nope.
Yeah.
Post it right
Um,
now.
Oh, I can't do it right now.
No, right now.
They have air support. They have a bunch of hikers. They have dogs. I don't know if they have any thermal drones, but if anybody has any kind of resources, they're really requesting horses because it is such a difficult area. They did find their car at the trailhead, but it had all their camping and gear inside the car. So
Ooh,
they're elk
that's
hunters.
weird.
They're elk hunters in bow season. That means that they are in camo, out walking around. So
Wait,
hard to find.
years
Anyway.
in the car?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he said. Camping gear in
I know.
the
I'm
car.
I'm
Yeah.
reiterating that just to make sure I heard it
Yes.
right.
Yes. Because I think they were just going to go scout up a little spot, and a bad storm came through, like wicked winds and rain and hail and all kinds of shit. And the last time anybody's heard from them was last Thursday.
Oh no.
So that would have been the 11th of September. They're from Utah and Pennsylvania. Their names are, give me just a second, Andrew Porter and Ian Stasko. Ian is from Utah. Andrew is from North Carolina. So
That
if anybody,
especially
5
for a
days.
Yeah.
Especially for a pair.
Yeah.
Like individuals go missing, but for two.
Yeah. So if anybody knows anybody in that area, or can get there, or has resources for somebody that could go up there. I know there's there's a guy in Florida that I follow on YouTube. He's got a thermal drone that he tracks down game with, and like missing pets and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I don't think thermal drones are going to help you because they're the same temperature as the surrounding environment at this point.
if in worst case scenario, yes.
I mean,
But
you know,
I mean-
maybe we're dealing with a couple of really capable individuals, but
They
I don't
are-
have a whole lot of hope here.
they're young and they're both very fit. So
That's
it's-
good.
It's not like
young will make you do stupid things like I don't care about this wind and
Yeah.
rain.
yeah.
Or like if one of them fell and got injured and they were trying to get out and then weather blew in and then they tried to like hold up somewhere for the night or
Yeah.
something like that, but it doesn't
And both out of state. I don't know if they've hunted the area before. I don't know. They just might have got fucking crossways and
Yeah.
are hiking towards Durango. I don't know.
Yeah, they may show up at
But-
somewhere in New Mexico in the
Mhm.
next couple of days and be like, guys, you will not believe what has happened to us.
So
We
there's
saw
this cougar,
The
right?
biggest freaking bulls. And everyone's be like, dude, you've been missing for 5 days. And they're like, oh shit, the inReach wasn't working.
Or they they
They got
shot a
abducted
bull
by
across
aliens.
the border in New Mexico, and they're trying to figure out how to get him back to their truck
Mhm.
without getting caught.
So they're both 25, by the way.
And the helicopters are making it really hard right now.
So it's
Sorry.
not like they're both 17. They
Yeah, they're both old enough
Okay, yeah.
to start knowing better
yeah.
than to do like really like again 17-year-old stupid
I mean,
stuff.
start
Yeah.
knowing better. I did dumb things when I was 25.
Oh, so did I.
I still do dumb things.
We know.
For people listening, he
Well-
held his hand up and he's got a little tennis brace on there.
Yes. While eating into a microphone.
At least he muted himself as opposed to burping right to the beat.
You imagine what his mic smells like.
Eh,
Well, thanks for that mental image, Dave.
No,
I
it's
think I
not
want to
mental
quit
smell.
now.
So anyway, thought I'd get that out there.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Again, especially for two people to go missing. One of them goes missing, and you're like, well, that's not good. But you can start to you start to run down a very short list of things that could have happened, and then you get two people missing. That list becomes a lot stranger.
Exactly. But the fact that they were hunting means that it's not like you're looking for hikers that occasionally have flamboyant colored gear, outfits,
Yeah.
whatever.
and you mentioned it was during archery season, so there's
Yeah.
no orange that they're wearing. They're out
Correct.
there blending into the environment.
Exactly. So super fucking hard to find anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, I say this with an empty mouth. You know what's really, really helpful in these survival situations? Like if you're lost in the woods, and this is no shit, no sarcasm, having a little tiny pocket mirror.
Mhm.
You can signal a helicopter
got a
from 15 miles away with a mirror about 1 square inch.
I've
You
got a
don't need
big
much.
one that came out of a. Well, did I ever tell you guys about the? I think I have told the story in the show about the Foot Locker full of M1 Garand parts that I found
Yes.
at a dumpster.
Multiple
Okay, good.
times.
It's worth retelling. I'm not gonna retell it though. In there, yeah, there's a U.S. Army signaling mirror. There's also a teeny tiny little flare gun that has actually I think it's Navy. That's got these teeny tiny little survival flares. And I've always wanted to shoot one off, but I'm not brave enough. Also, I'd set the entire state on fire.
Exactly. Yeah. I would start a fire.
Okay,
Sam,
I'm
no.
gonna drive I'm gonna drive out east somewhere. By east, I mean East
You know-
Coast.
It worked for Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swan. Jack started a fire and boom, they found him. There
No,
they
she
are.
started the fire. That's the whole point of that scene is that he's
Why is
like,
the
"Why
rum
is the rum gone?"
Yeah, I said
Because
she started the fire.
You said he started the fire.
My bad. I said maybe you missed the S, but I
Could
said
be
she.
worse. If at least if it was Amber Heard, she would have just shat on him.
You wench, why did you defecate in all of the rum?
And then blame him for it. You shat in the rum. I didn't do it. I shot in. Why did I shit in the rum? Why do I always shit in the rum?
That's terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Um,
What were we talking about?
well,
I
we just
have
finished with
I
the
have
two
another.
missing. We
Go
finished
ahead.
with the two missing hunters.
Mhm.
So we've been through some. I think we've maxed out our serious meters for one night. I don't think I can
Yes.
do this anymore.
Well, we could have
I
some
brought the silly juice.
discussion.
Oh no. Well, Dave, I think this might be the episode for it. But first, do we want to fill in the background for all the little people in this article?
Oh, mother.
Are you
Oh,
going to play
yes,
my
I
music
think
for
so.
his stupid article?
No,
No,
Dave,
no.
make sure you put this article towards the top of the show notes for me, so that
Oh,
people
okay.
can follow along at some point if they feel like it.
Also, there should be
Uh,
spotlighting with Dave, and he should have his own music too.
Spotlighting with Dave. The roadless rule.
I don't even know what this is.
So it's in the show notes.
He asked me what it was, and I was very confused. Dave, can you
So-
share screen?
Oh, yeah, I can. I can.
That way we can
dang
look.
sure do that.
That way we can look at these people later on. You don't have to
Sure,
share it
sure.
right now. We'll do it. We'll do the people after we do the actual meat.
okay.
bit.
Do the
Yeah,
people.
we can do that. So, in a sense, the roadless rule came into effect in 2001, I believe.
Damn, Mike, will you
If-
let the drama stop the drama, man?
What is the roadless rule?
All these
What
is
ominous
this?
thunder booms.
It
The
is.
cannon are starting.
So it protects national forests from being like roads
Roaded.
built on it, forestry done, all that hullabaloo. Keep the wild wild, you know.
Like not
Well,
four-wheeling off into the middle of the forest and creating new trails out of willy-nilly and just tearing it all to shit and just using the roads provided.
not necessarily, because you can't drive on unmarked roads
This
in
is to,
national forests
the
anyway.
roadless rule prevents basically anyone
Anything.
from not just driving off, but from basically cutting in a road.
Yeah.
So they can't make a new road in the area.
Even like
Okay, so can't travel on even like non-road roads, like no Jeep trails, and can't make new roads. So
Can't
like
make new
can't
roads,
pave a
can't
new road
fix
through
roads.
the national forest.
can't
fix
even
roads?
make a dirt road.
Dude,
So
Jason
it-
Aldean
it-
made
it-
a dirt road anthem. They can't make a dirt road in the national forest.
Don't
That's
you
bullshit.
fucking dare say that Jason Aldean made that song. Don't you dare. Oh.
See, Mike, you've pissed me off with that shit. Now you're getting
Brantley
paid.
Gilbert and Colt Ford, get it right. Anyway,
Chilling on
so-
the dirt road.
U.S.
House
Secretary of
cold
Agriculture
beer
Brooke L.
sitting.
Rollins has rescinded the roadless rule, and some people are up in arms. So she states that, let's see, it'll, yeah, a bunch of shit. You can read along, but in general, now that she rescinded it, they can actually go in there, build roads, do like controlled, localized logging for wildfire prevention, and I'm real big fan of that. I understand wanting to keep the wild, and if you want them to be closed off roads, like no public access, fine. Give me a little man gate to walk through. That way I can walk along a fucking logging trail when I'm hunting. Or if you're fucking looking for some people that are lost, you can utilize that road. And if a wildfire comes through, you can actually get equipment and people to where they need to be
Can you not even do that?
efficiently.
Does the roadless rule prevent even forestry equipment like wildfire firefighting equipment from going in there, or do they just do whatever they want to?
No, but the ease of
They don't-
access and
don't have a
They
road.
can't get there. There's
They
no
don't have a
road.
road to begin with. It,
It was
okay,
in-
so I think, Mike, you might be thinking too much of like you can't drive on this road. It's not about that. It's about you cannot make a new road here.
yeah.
Well,
That's the
I gathered
bigger
it was both.
contention. Okay, well but the new road part seems to be the bigger contention.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
That's all.
people don't want new roads tracked through all the national forest. I get that, but
Yeah.
like people
Well-
got to get over it. There's got to be some gives. There has to be a line, I think.
At,
Like,
at some point, that thing where you want to go on a backpack hunt and you park at a trailhead and you hike it back in for 10, 15 miles or some nonsense. That goes away eventually with the roadless rule gone the way I'm hearing it right now.
It could, but I think their main focus is wildfire prevention.
Yeah,
There
you
are
can't tell
some-
me.
I'm going to counter you on that one only because the
I
wildfire
understand.
prevention.
Give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Well, sort of. Only because every time I hear somebody say that we have to do this for XYZ reason, and that XYZ reason is something that everyone can agree on, it's usually a red herring, is what I found.
I understand.
Because my concern with this is not that they're going to cut in some roads for wildfire prevention. It's that they're going to cut in logging roads and then go, look, we're doing it for wildfire prevention. And I'm not against logging wholesale. There are certain areas, okay, proper management, so on and so forth. That's a bit of above my pay grade. It is at what point do you, again, going back to your point, the inch and a mile thing, do we end up in the whole, well, let's sell off a bunch of public lands?
Exactly.
Like, at what point is this just kind of an end run around that kind of preventative?
So two things. One, what I hear when I hear this is that you're going to, all the roads are going to be closed. So you have to hike in 10 miles. And the second you get there, there's a game warden sitting there because he could drive in, but you had to walk in. That's number one. Number two is there is a way to do logging correctly in this country. And so like a lot of the areas southeast of here that I hunt, they're actually, so it's public land to hunt, but it's privately owned and they log it. So you can have both there and it's managed to log, but also you have access to hunt it. So it's like the idea of like it's sold off for logging. Well, here in Oklahoma, I guess it was sold off for logging at one point, and now it's found its way back into public access because there's a financial incentive for them to open it up for public access.
Mm-hmm. Now it's a fine line, for sure. I mean, yeah, they could say that they want to do all this stuff for wildfire prevention and then do just exactly like what you said. And yeah, I like the idea of hiking back in somewhere and like getting way the fuck back there and be like, hey, I know people have probably stepped here, but I bet it's been a few hundred years. And then you walk 10 more feet and there's a fucking road.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah. I guess where I would
Carlos
try,
out there working on the road, just squatting in the bushes where you think no one's been for a while.
fucking truck rolls by right behind you.
where I guess I would try and figure out some kind of balance would be in areas where a wildfire would pose a significant risk to, actually I say that, but at the same time, if they had to evacuate Aspen because of a giant firestorm, would that be such a terrible thing? I'm not saying I want the population of Aspen to go with it,
You
but
just want them to go back to California.
yeah, because it's not, I mean, they've got insurance. Okay, here's the perfect thing. You build a moat around Aspen. You just burn the whole forest down around Aspen to where it's all ugly and they will all leave.
I'm like, oh, it's
because
not
they're
pretty
not going to be
anymore."
patient enough to wait around for 30 years for the forest to regrow. I just solved
I'm not patient
all of our
enough for that.
problems.
Just fill that valley with water,
I said it was a
And-
moat.
To be fair,
like higher water till it's a lake, Lake Aspen.
Oh, so you just
there,
Mike
there
wants to
have-
build dams.
Let's let a beaver do it, so at least it's natural.
No, hear me out. We put the moat inside the walls.
I've got a great idea. We'll call it a lock.
to the point of the wildfire prevention, there have been some devastating wildfires where there has been a lot of access. So
Yeah, again, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer in this. My only, and this is where I'm going to be far more conservative in the actual sense of the word, not in the neo-political sense of the word, in that I don't trust the people who have their thumb on these things
mhm.
to not be tipping the scales towards business interests, essentially.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like
And
my
I'll also
concern
point
is
out
not- go ahead.
the fire control aspect of it is suspect because in most of these places, the ecology of the area is the natural order of things is that a fire burns out of control at some point every 10 to 30 years at a minimum.
That's how you get rid of things like tree-eating beetles and other sorts of diseases that trees and also wildlife go through in the forest.
And magically, certain alpine plants can't germinate until they've been through a fire, which is
Until
just
you
weird.
torch them.
Interesting.
This is why they don't need to let us have flamethrowers.
And they're just like, huh, it's so weird. Maybe more roads? I don't know. But like, yeah, that's why the tree line has crept further and further west. Because at one point, humans started interdicting fires, which has also let trash trees come through that would not survive a wildfire. But the entire post oak belt, the area where I am, is areas of scrub, short and high grass prairie, and what's called post oak, which is just a certain type of oak tree, but they sit in stands that are close together. And wildfires, if they burn through, will burn through so fast that they burn all the grass, but the oaks stand there, and
Yeah.
they're fine.
We had
Montana dirt roads, brings up a good point, which is, if they log at a watershed up in Montana, they are required to replant the entire area. They do a lot of replanting down here as well.
I actually wanted to bring that up, but I forgot.
It's just, again, for me, it's a matter of I don't, especially growing up out east on the plains, where now they are dropping freaking windmills and every little scrap of state land they can find.
yeah.
And you just and they have the both the government sides of the windmill issue, at least in the area specifically where I grew up, so like within 10 miles of there, and the corporate side of those have not kept their word once the entire time. They have basically just cut corners and promised, oh no, we'll put all the transmission lines underground, and then went, that's too expensive, you got to look at them anyway. So that is like, I don't trust these people whatsoever.
Well,
No.
have you seen the Billy Bob Thornton?
Landman show.
There was a post
It
on
was-
Instagram.
It was
just-
more. Oh, you're going to talk about that thing where they do the whole this windmill runs on more gallons of oil than
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
like
entirely
I literally
true.
just watched that yesterday, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" I mean,
Yeah,
I
that is
know they
so true.
suck, but dude,
I think they're ugly. I would much rather
They
have
are.
a nuclear plant sitting
yes,
10 miles from where I grew up. And
dude, you can put a nuclear plant in the middle of. There is so much space in this goddamn country. You can put a nuclear plant somewhere
so hear
and
me
have
out.
it be perfectly safe if it melted down.
So
At
hear
least
me out.
for a while.
We build a nuclear plant in the middle of Aspen. We dig a
Yes.
moat around it. We melt it down.
We melt it down. We use that water to cool said nuclear plant.
And then
All right,
we
guys,
have
hear me out.
and then we have the
build
Aspen
we buy a
exclusion
bus.
zone,
We buy a nuclear power plant.
We are Mr. Burns.
I would just like to,
Excellent.
of what they're saying, if it were true, makes sense to me. Like if I'm
Yes.
up hunting in national forest and I'm packing out 150 pounds of fucking boss ass elk meat, and I'm climbing over down trees and all this happy bullshit, I'm gonna be pretty fucking happy to find a logging road. But
That's
I want to. The
Again,
thing I wanted
that-
to say about
it's
logging
short-sighted.
before I forget, Sam, many of us may have mentioned doing logging right, and I saw something very, very interesting. So on the dirt road into 11 Mile, sorry, everything went blank. I thought it cut out. Anyway, on the road into 11 Mile, on the north side of that road, they're doing some logging, but they're not cutting down every single tree. I'm pretty sure it's on. That's probably why this is happening, isn't it? Because it's on national forest land or
What is that
BLM
called?
land.
Timber stand improvement.
I'm not sure what they're calling it. All I see is the missing trees, but what they're doing is cutting down. Like, take one tree, and they're cutting down every tree within 50 yards or whatever the radius is around it, and then they go to the next tree and they draw another radius, and they go to the next tree. So you have trees evenly spaced apart throughout the entire forest, so that they can drop their pine cones and make, the pine cones can germinate, or however pine trees reproduce, and they can make new baby pine trees, and the forest can regrow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to take 20, 30 years for those trees to get that big again, but they're at least not leaving an empty field of stumps for nothing to grow again. Now, to be fair, nature takes its course, and in a couple hundred years, that empty stump forest will be full of trees again. But we as humans don't see that. We go, oh, it used to have trees, and now the trees are gone. Sad trees.
So, timber stand improvement is defined as a forest management practice that enhances woodland health, timber value, and wildlife habitat by selectively removing undesirable trees and other vegetation to favor more valuable crop trees.
So all those trees they're not just picking one tree at random. They're like, which
They're
one's the
genetically-
healthiest tree in there?
They're genetically engineering the trees.
Yeah.
In the original sense.
They're eugenicking
Oh,
the
wow.
trees. Holy crap.
You also
This
open
is-
up the canopy and you can actually get some grass to grow.
Yeah.
Nazi trees. Okay.
Nazi trees.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Writing that down.
Did not see that tree
Lebensraum.
as I was going downhill at 40 miles an hour.
This
Did you see it? Nope, I did not see it.
is not the tree I thought we'd be barking up today.
Are you guys ready for the fun part?
Oh no.
Here comes the fun
I-
part. Every time someone
Well,
says
not that
that,
one.
I think of Super
Well, hang on.
Troopers.
I would like to say that Montana Dirt Roads in the comments has had a lot of good input in terms of talking about
Indeed.
Montana's laws versus this, laws and regulations around it. Being able to push to have roads closed during hunting seasons. Again, if this was all done per the book in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
fine. I'm just, again, I don't trust these bastards anymore.
Dusky.
They're turning the trees gay.
All right. Hang on. Dave, oh, that's just my face. Where's the screen? There we
There
go.
it is.
Dave, can you zoom in your browser at all?
Oh, boop, boop, boop.
That's
There
Whoa.
we go. All right. So, for those of you out here listening, you just have to get over it. But there is a picture of Secretary Rawlins, who I'm assuming is the lady in the center,
I imagine
basically
so.
giving the announcement. And
In six-
behind her is a row of six
ethnically
no.
placed.
individuals who do not look like they want to be there.
Wait a
And
minute.
Dave,
Sam and I have
Tell me-
determined that we believe that all of these people have been caught drinking at work, and this is their punishment. This gentleman,
Especially that
over
motherfucker
here,
on the right. Look at him.
this gentleman over here on the far left of the picture,
who's kind of
Sam
awkwardly-
determined is
he's
still
awkward-
drunk.
Yeah, because he's awkwardly standing away from everyone. No,
Yeah.
I will not hear arguments that he's letting the camera or people see the map. He's got a
Nope.
look on his face, and he's not distance right. So I believe this man is still drunk. And they
Wait.
took his keys.
I
The
thought
one on the right, that was his first time drinking ever, and he
That's a
got
girl.
caught. So the one
That's
on the
exactly
right,
what I
that's his
said.
first-
Okay, so this guy right here, this guy is the OG.
Center? Yeah, this
He's
is
the
behind
guy-
your right. If you're following along at home, this is the individual behind Secretary Rollins' right shoulder.
This is great audio material.
So yes, this guy, he's OG. It was his idea. This guy is his protege. He's like, yep.
They were
he's-
the same
he's
truck.
he hasn't been here quite as long as this guy, but he's got some experience.
hold on.
This
Second
guy-
from the right refused to narc on a couple of his buddies.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
He-
the
he's
entire
got-
reason he's here. That's it.
He's
And
the,
he's looking proudly into the camera because of it. Like, I didn't snitch. Look at me. I ain't no
He-
snitch.
he's the guy that shows up sometimes and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but doesn't really give a fuck. This guy is the hammer,
That's the guy that bought the beer
obviously.
right there.
I assume,
That's
look
the
at
guy.
the collar. It's,
Th-
it's
Yeah, this is the
guy's
guy
never
that
met a dry cleaner.
I
this
bought
is
the beer, yeah.
guy that got free beer because he was like, I bet I could punch you harder. And yeah. So
When I
no,
was
it was
in-
a pretty entertaining game that we played before the
See-
show.
That's not where I thought you were
awesome.
going with this meme. I thought this was meant to mirror another meme.
So for those of
Oh,
us in the
oh
audio
God, no.
podcast, you can definitely go find our episode on Rumble and see these individuals
We'll
for
put the-
yourself. It's
we'll put the
worth
link
it.
towards the top of the show notes,
It is.
so it's easier
Indeed.
to find. But yeah, play along at home, follow along, come to your own conclusions.
It's good.
You know
time.
what? Send us at contact at lghpodcast.com. Send us what you think these ding dongs did, each one of them, left to right. And
Alright.
maybe we'll send you some stickers when we figure out why the sticker guy's not returning our phone calls.
Hey,
My
buddy,
IG post.
we found the beer cans in the truck. You have to go stand at the announcement. Oh, man,
Vince is right. We can do an IG post, but you should still watch us on Rumble because YouTube sucks.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Or Daniel.
Dude, the grass grows this high. I was dying. Sorry, that just hit me just now. So, are we doing any hunting anytime soon? I mean, I know that duck season's coming in 2 weeks, but I
Not me. My schedule fell apart. My elk hunt I was planning for later this week has officially been shit canned. So I don't want to say anything about what I'm trying to get roasty.
rusty.
Rusty.
Roasty
Message me back
Udom.
on. I'm hoping he does message me back because that would be a great trade-off. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to jinx it. But
I kind of want to call him Roasty from now on.
Nuclear.
well, it's kind of like we refused to call 5-hour Star Alterations that guy by his, he wanted to be called Star. It's like, no, you are Ringo. And so Rusty from the Gun and Gear Review podcast, he's now Roasty.
Roasty from the Guns and I lost it. Never had it, to be fair.
Speaking of other podcasts, I have been listening to a little bit of the AR-15 podcast, which is also on the FRN. And whoever said that Nick Dooley he was on our show on episode, I can't think of what episode number it was, but he was on a little while ago. And yeah, that man does fight every word he says. It's like every word he says is like there's a battle going on in his windpipe with that word.
That's why we know he's the best soldier we know. I could have worded that differently in better words, but yes.
It's okay.
It's like,
Word
man,
for
I wish we had a voice like that for our radio channel, but no, here we are. Sounding like a bunch of freaking women compared to him.
Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. My
Welcome.
name is Nick Dooley. If you just bought your first rifle or you've been building them for years, this show is for you.
You listen to that show too much.
Yeah.
You have that memorized.
Goodness.
Mike's over here. He's got another show's intro memorized better than ours.
We have an intro.
No, that's the problem. We
No.
don't.
We used to, and then we started changing shit up, so it's never the same.
And at some point, changing it became the joke. And I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was earlier this year.
No, it was last
Yeah.
year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We've
started
been doing
doing
that
the
whole
whole.
time.
No, we didn't do it the whole time. We changed our little
Our little
you know. And
blurbs.
joining us, we have Sam Alexander, the Dorito
those.
captain.
It
changed
was
that.
Every Man's Out Hunting and Outdoor podcast.
Yeah.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
And
I
then for
love
some
how we're
reason- oh
reminiscing about our own show.
Back to our roots, guys. 3 years ago.
no, we started changing it when Instagram was we discovered Instagram had been throttling us.
Mhm.
And so I changed it to the hunting podcast Instagram doesn't want you to know about. And then it became
And then
like,
you changed it to the Instagram that something about your mom. She
yeah,
knows
like
all
it
four
was
hosts
it was
already.
the show. Yeah, it was the show your mom listens to, and then
You know,
it
I
just-
She
think
already
this-
knows all four hosts.
I think this was sometime before the election last year because they started throttling us more leading up to the election.
Yep.
Mhm.
I feel like we haven't been throttled at all after the election.
oh, we
which
still
was
are.
terrible.
You just have to dig in. You have to dig deeper to find it.
Yeah.
How do
I
I?
don't even have access to
how
that
do I
anymore.
find it?
It's like Sam's the only
That's
one.
what
who
I'm
can see
saying.
it.
Like I can't find it. I can't even find it in my personal Instagram, which I started like a week ago.
Look, a lesson that tyrants all over the world have taught me is that if you don't let the people look behind the curtain, they are happier.
Mhm.
So shut up, Mike, and don't look behind the curtain.
You know, I think that particular sentiment goes to my issues that I was talking about pre-show as well. So maybe that's just a little bit of what I'm going through. But thank you for that.
I don't have access to her Instagram, and I don't care.
You're
Okay.
you know what you were saying about the internet ruining society? Instagram's part of it. Facebook's part of it. Snapchat's part of
Oh,
it.
Instagram's ruined hunting.
MySpace started it.
That and Steve Ranella. But
Calling
No.
out the big guns.
But
I think I'm not gonna say Instagram has actually ruined hunting, but I think it's easy. I think everybody makes fun of. This has been a very intellectually stimulating show tonight. I think everybody makes fun of
Surprisingly.
teenage girls or whatever, going like, "Oh, they just post." People get all depressed because they see other people's lives are better on Instagram, and they go, "Ha ha, you're an idiot." And then do we realize the exact same things happening because we see so and so post these big fucking 6x6 and 7x7 poles, and we don't. With the part we don't see is that he paid 18 grand to shoot that 6x6.
Or the possibility that they've been getting skunked for 20 fucking years and
Hey,
they
your first hunt was in Africa. You don't get to talk. That's like going to oh no. I was about to say that's like going to Dubai for your
Oh,
first
God.
vacation. But
stop
does
this
that-
Toyota so I can shoot that Impala.
Did they also do despicable acts to you in Africa like they do to these people in Dubai?
Yeah, they drove me on the wrong side of the road and I was like, what is going on? What is even life?
You
That
poor
was my-
14-year-old.
That was my first experience. Now you know why I've been traumatized with right-hand drives. Africa.
Gross. I rode in that car a couple days ago. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
think I was gonna make it.
did. I hope it felt as weird as it was having you there.
Ugh. And then, so we were helping Buddy move offices, but then as we're driving along, somebody popped a Tacoma on top of two concrete barrier pylons.
And I missed it
Somehow-
entirely. I was just driving. Like I missed. You didn't even say anything. You didn't say, "Hey, look at that
Texted.
Tacoma."
No. This is when I was driving my own truck.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
right.
how-
Because we were on our way back the second time.
This silver Tacoma had all four wheels were in the air on top of two concrete pylons.
Was there visible damage on any side?
One of them was slightly bent over, so I think he ramped up on one and then
Ah.
balanced it. And his buddy's staring at the truck with his hands on his hip. And then I assume the driver was on the other side with his head in his hands.
Like, dude, how did I do this?
Mall crawler tried to actually go off road.
Yeah. Meanwhile, his buddy's just like, man,
Well,
never seen
you're
one
off
like this
road.
before.
Jesus, dude. How do you even? I mean, I thought this was stupid, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, was there
We
anything else anybody wanted to cover tonight? Because, like I said, my hunt is now off the rails. That's not going to happen. So my
Oh.
first hunting experience shall be beaver starting October 1st, which was it last week? I did go and did I mention I went and found my first victim?
You did.
Yeah, you
in
did. You
Signal.
did.
All right, good.
Which
Well, the pond that you killed one in last year is totally drained out now.
probably because I killed the upkeeper.
I'm
of the
not.
dam.
I'm not convinced of that anymore. I
No?
thought that was the case like a year or two ago, but I have seen so many like ebb and flow, and some dams just like get abandoned, other ones get washed out. I think they move around a lot more than I thought they did. I could be wrong, but a little bit upstream of there.
So
The willows are so freaking thick that it's like I thought I was gonna run into a damn moose. I hate
Well.
those thick ass willows.
well, I hope you have more than a 6 hour P238 because I think that's going to be my next foreheads on foreheads next week because that's a fun story.
I was lugging around that M1A.
I-
So
That's
have
much better than the
managed-
238.
A couple of things.
What did
Go
you
for it.
manage?
I managed to chronograph a new batch of ammunition that I got in for my 308s.
I have a chronograph now. I am so excited.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
was
s-
about to ask you what chrono you have, Vince.
Oh, don't! It's garbage.
The optical.
I
that what they call it?
I need
With the
to I
little-
need to be sponsored by Garmin or Athlon to get one of the fancy new ones. I got
Mhm.
an old light screen chronograph, like that's got the V's with the light
Oh,
screen
yeah.
on top, and you
Yeah.
shoot. Yeah, it's a Caldwell, but so it's apparently corroded on the on and off switch, so you have to balance it to get it to
Oh.
actually turn on.
Oh.
So yeah. Anyway, got those chronographed and a couple of actually 3 rifles roughly sighted in because I got a buddy who just set up a 600-yard range, and at some point I'm gonna take him over there and we're gonna go poke at steel at 600 yards.
which
got
is
the-
a rarity in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it I think I've said this before. It all depends on if you got the land, because you got to have 600 yards of unbroken land, right?
Mhm.
And then if it's open, but there's a lot of power lines, there's a lot of gas easements. So if you have that unbroken, you can make a pretty good long shot. But for the most part, there's no 600-yard public range that I know of. And there's no just BLM land that you can go shoot long range on if you feel like it.
Yeah.
But got some loads chronographed. Got the 2-3 bolt action that I talked about a while back. Shot that for the first time. Everything looks good there. The chronoed kind of high on the velocity side, but I'm gonna pretend that that's a good thing for now.
It was a chrono.
This is my reloads.
Spicy.
Somehow they're spicier with the 16-inch barrel than they were with the 18-inch barrel, which is kind of scaring me. It's fine. Don't try this at home, kids. Got the GT30 sighted in with the Guardian 1-10 on it, which I'm actually a little bit more excited about now. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think I showed that to y'all last week with the QD mount for the Midwest.
Yes.
The Midwest QD mount. Yeah, got that on there. I'm liking that quite a bit.
Have you taken the mount off and put it back on and see if it held 0?
I've not done that where I swap it back and forth and shoot it,
Okay.
but we'll have plenty of opportunity to check that out along the
Cool.
way. And besides that, I went out back and the deer stand that I have back behind the house, I went out and made sure that it was in good order. I had to take the canopy that I had on it and flip it back up and tighten some bolts that had bent the frame because it got a whole load of snow on it last winter. and just took the whole thing and just bent it right over. It's like,
I
Oof.
almost did a mic. I almost said,
Dude,
"No way."
there's you should have. That's a good one.
I found the error in my way.
Come
I
on,
talked about
man. You should have. That's a good one,
Mike's like,
It's
ha,
not.
got him.
It's not a good one. That's why I didn't say it.
dude. There's no way.
Oh, and one other thing. I did those Shield Arms mags. I sent those back to Shield, and I got an email today saying they're going to send me a couple of replacements.
Nice.
I don't
Good
want to
thing.
get into specifics, so I'm going to ask a very big question here. Mike, did you tell me you got a phone call from somebody saying something was in?
I did, and I may have gone yesterday to fill out a thing for the thing, and I'm kind of wishing that the 10th Circuit thing covered the thing, so I didn't have to wait 3 days for the thing. But yeah, I got my thing. That was so amusing to me. I'm sorry.
Dave, you might want to check with your people about your thing to see if a thing is a thing is a thing and a thing.
I'm gonna be thinking right now. Sons of bitches.
All right, so if y'all remember, we had Dave from High Point on about 6 weeks ago.
Shut up. You don't have to shut up. It's not like it's a secret.
That we had Dave from High Point on 6 weeks ago. Yes, we had Dave from High Point on 6 weeks ago. That's all I'm saying.
That episode wasn't supposed to be public.
Oh, okay. So we had nobody from nowhere on never ago.
Ohio.
Oh God, why
H.
the fuck? Oh, this. I understand why this person, this female, is in my spam box.
Has Dave
Because I
been
was like,
drinking?
why in the fuck is she in my spam? And I'm like, oh wait, it's spam. Never mind. This checks out.
I
She
ask
who
again.
shall not be named.
Oh, because she's part of the fight, or so.
Yeah, I don't know how or where or why or how, when, but
She's probably nailing someone who
She's
is.
Wow,
Where
this
is
is
she
this is so
supposed to be?
fascinating. This is so
This is
no idea what you're
fantastic
talking
for
podcast.
the people who
I'm
have no
fucking-
idea
I'm on my phone now.
what these inside baseball terms are. Like, hey, did the thing show up? I was just trying to ask a vague question, and then over here, Dave's going like, "Oh, why is she in here?" And we're like, "Who's she?" You know?
well, I had to check my spam
She.
folder.
Oh, she who must not be named. Yeah, that she. Oh, yeah. She
Yeah.
must be working with the thing. Like, oh god.
Holosun makes
No,
a
she's
rail
not
mounted
working.
long gun light.
No, she's working. She's just working the streets.
Yes. So to those who have no idea what's going on, stay tuned because you're still
Everybody?
going to have no fucking clue.
Everybody who doesn't
Yeah.
like everyone, no one knows what's going on.
I don't even know what's going on. What's going on? Vince, help. It's not on your phone.
Right now.
Vince, get off your
I
damn
have no
phone.
idea what's going on. I got it. What? You got the code? No. That's to beat the funky town. Boop, boop.
So leave us a review and
You go right ahead, sir.
go to lghpodcast.com, click on support the show, and leave us a review. Follow the link to your favorite podcast brain beamer and leave us a review. Email contact at
There's
lghpodcast.com.
way too many
and
directions there. I have to
get
this streamlined.
Get a sticker pack. Well, no, it's me and my tism.
No. It doesn't matter. Like, what's
It's like, oh,
I
email.
I believe
Yes.
there's research out there that says if you force people to do more than 2 consecutive like tasks in a like something they're only vaguely interested in, they quit. Like they don't have the attention span to like click more than 2 buttons. And I totally get it because every time that gets said out, it's like, that is way too many freaking instructions.
Yeah.
Leave
Yeah.
us a review, damn it, or I'll find out where you live and we'll send a thing to your house from a gal we can't name,
Yeah.
and it might be
We-
unpleasant.
Let's be real. We need to re-evaluate that
Our
email.
lives.
We should
email contact at LG because that is so unclear.
we
Our
should talk
e-
about this
if you would
after
like
the
to em-
fucking show.
Yeah,
No,
moving on.
I'm telling the
Support
viewers
the sport
our
and take
email
it, Buddy
is,
Huntington.
God damn it. Our email is contact at LGH podcast.com.
It's not a point of contention.
It is.
Support the sport and think buddy hunting.
If you like that, buddy, tell them about our show. If you don't, take
If you
them hiking
don't,
and-
Lay him out.
Introduce them to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hit us up. Dave and I are both doing this at the same time. That's how bad we want out of here.
Thanks
us
for
up, Bill.
listening, and let's go hunt.
Oh no.
That was more difficult than it should have been.
I
Mike.
agree. I think it's computer herpes.
We are leaving now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do computer herpes. Good night, folks. On the count of 3. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3. Go away. Oh, I